Hey family, Willie Jr. here, and welcome to another edition of the Love You More Show. As you can see, I'm on a brand new set. There's some special stuff that's happening right now, so I'm gonna let you know a little bit more about that a little later in the show. Family, listen, today I get the esteemed privilege to hang out with somebody very, very special. But before we get to him, I wanna give you an opportunity to see what we're working on and to help us continue to expand our territory. So shout out to everybody across this country who's a part of our Patreon community. And now, right now, it is so important that for those of you who are not a part of our Patreon community, that you become a part of the Patreon community. Of course, we did all this on our own, and we're building new sets so we can create new content to make sure that you're empowered through the Love You More Show, the Willie Moore Jr. Show brand, and I just need your help. So make sure you become a part of the Patreon community. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Now, it's time for the episode, Flat Out.
Next on the Love You More Show.
My wife came into the relationship wanting to be with me. I came into the relationship wanting to be with parts of her. I've been honest about this. Me and my wife have been very transparent. We've been married 31 years. Our first 10 years,
I remember you telling me
that wasn't right. It wasn't right.
Yeah.
We were living in separate places, different relationships, all my fault.
As I told my children, you don't get an opportunity to get divorced. I'll also help you with the decision, because that leaves our bloodline through you guys.
I've seen my father on, I could count probably on two hands the number of times I've seen my father before he died.
Wow.
He was a cab driver in New York City.
Okay.
And he was accused of raping a woman. My mom left when I was 16.
Where did you go? Hey family, Willie Moore Jr. here, and guess what? Welcome to another Love You More show. I think I'm about to start implementing the $50 fine if you call it a podcast, right? Although this is a little different because of course we feel like it's a show. And if you love this show the way I think you do and you feel it in your sha-na-na, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. It's so important that you do so because guess what? My motive is not to get 300,000 subscribers to get on Instagram, TikTok and say, look at all the people that are into me. It's to make sure that we get this message out to as many people as possible. So if it's beneficial to you and you've seen shows and you like, man, I really like that, be a part of our ecosystem by simply subscribing, okay? Leaving comments. I look at every comment, good, bad, or indifferent, and I do my best to engage with you to the best of my ability. So make sure you subscribe, all right? Family, today I get the esteemed privilege to hang out with a man who continues to shock me. He continues to reinvent himself, from being a worship leader to being a husband, a father, to now even being like a granddad. I don't know if he actually is called a granddad. And, to watch him move from a worship space, knowing deep in my heart, I was like, dude got a word. It's like he's a quiet guy off the stage, but when you get an opportunity to see him on stage, there's this strong, aggressive, loud, strong voice. And I was like, one day I think the Lord will go mess around and call him to preach, because towards the end of the big record that you'll hear about, he began to speak life into people more than he was singing the song. And I was like, yeah, he probably gonna be a pastor. Well, today he is. The one and only Pastor JJ Hairston. Y'all make some noise in the building.
Yo.
Yes, sir. JJ, I'm so grateful that we get the opportunity to hang out with worship royalty.
Man, bro, first of all, I want to say I am honored to be in this space with you.
Thank you.
I've been observing. Yeah. And it's been incredible to watch it grow, watch what you're doing, watch the conversations. So yeah. I'm hoping I can say something that can level up to all the amazing conversations I've seen happen on these chairs.
Well, listen, I'm sure you will, because you have become one of the premier pastors and speakers on TikTok. That's where I see you the most. I don't know what your internet team is doing, but I tell you, every time when I first joined that platform, I would just see you all the time. And it's so amazing to see you in this space pastoring. Do you ever feel like you have to choose which one? Or does God give you okay, you're going to use your worship gift today, then you're going to do your music, then you're going to do your, you have so many gifts in your tool belts. Wow. Do you ever feel torn between any of the multi-facets of who you are?
Bro, you starting me off with a story. So true story. When we first started pastoring, I felt this obligation to drop what I was doing musically so I could be taken seriously in the pastoral space. I've seen, there came a season where a lot of musical artists, gospel artists became pastors.
Yes.
And I didn't want to present a narrative that, this is like a promotion from singing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just drop music altogether and I'm going to focus on pastoring. And there's a prophetess named T. Renee Glenn. I don't know if you heard T. Renee Glenn.
But she's solid.
Oh, she looks like, she's a mother. She come in all white. And when she see you coming, if she hug you once, you laid on the floor the next 5 minutes.
Oh, God.
And she told me, she said, the Lord revealed to me that you've been trying not to do music because of your ministry in pastoring. She said, but David was a king and he was a worshiper. Yeah. Do both. Yeah. She said, the Lord is giving you the grace and the capacity to do both. And since then, I've been more aggressive, not only in our music, but in our pastoral space as well, because I don't feel this pressure to make sure people take me seriously in either one of those spaces. Yeah. God has placed me in both, and he's going to equip me to do both well.
That makes sense. So I want to kind of like back up a little bit. Yeah. So your wife is the executive pastor? Are you both pastoring together? How does that work? We pastor
together. So I wanted to make that very clear. She's not first lady. She is not executive associate pastor. Right. We are shepherding together. We together make one pastor. Yeah. And I wanted to make sure that was clear because I'm not the same. I can't shepherd the house in the way they need to alone. Got it. There's a grace that she carries that has all of the, aggressive prophetic movements. And for me, I'm more of a teacher, and I want to give you the common and foundational principles that every believer needs. I think both are necessary. And if we only had one, then the congregation wouldn't have what they need.
Indeed. So was that a learning curve for certain churches or certain people to come into it? Because now you have a woman pastor, you got a man pastor, and it's often said that two visions is a division. So is there ever a clash of the titans when it comes to, I feel like God is pulling me this way, but wait a minute, God pulling me this way. Like, we better go seek God. Like, how does that work when two people are leading?
It's so funny. The Bible says we are one now, right?
That's true.
So we really are one. Yeah. However, we do have different ways of doing things. We have different visions. We have different thoughts. And as much as we have to come together to figure out how to raise the kids right, we have to come together to figure out how to raise the church right. And there have been times, honestly, over the last couple of years, our arguments have been about the church.
Oh, wow.
It hasn't been, and it's not even a bad thing. It's just the reality of this has been a lot of what we have to talk about. And so I've learned to not be frustrated or concerned about arguments. Because really what it is us both expressing something we're passionate about. Right. That may be we may have opposing views, but we're both passionate about our view. Right. So we've had some of those debates and we've come together and figured out, hey, your way might be the right way for this one. And if it's not the right way, we're going to go with your way anyway. And then when you're wrong, I'm not going to beat you up over it. But I'm going to say, let's try it differently now. Yeah. So because of that, the church has been through multiple transitions. And I appreciate the fact that they're growing with us. We're growing together. We've had a learning curve. We've been pastoring for 5 years.
I know, 5 years went by so fast.
Yeah, it went by so fast. But we were birthed in a pandemic too. Yes. So we've learned a lot. My family has grown through this. My son has grown in his craft through this. So I'm appreciative of the journey, but I also I'm not naive to the fact that if we did not do this together, I would not be able to be the pastor that the church needs by myself.
Right. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, it's time. Let me put this right quick. I know you loving what you hearing, but I ain't seen you hit that subscribe button yet. You say, Willie, why do I have to subscribe? Number one, because I told you to, and obedience is better than sacrifice. Ha, shanda bashi. Huh? Did you feel that in your shana? Listen, I need you to subscribe to this channel as we are on the road to 300,000 subscribers. Okay? I need you to go right now. Now, back to the show. Flat out. So I know that there were pastors in the past who actually hired you to be the worship leaders of their churches. I think you worked with multiple churches.
Sure.
how did pastors take you moving out of a space of support to now moving into leadership? Was it all love or was it like another one?
You know what? Honestly, a few of them weren't as appreciative as I would have wanted them to be, but I own that. I think that's on me. I don't know, Willie, I don't know if I leave well.
That's real. I don't think I leave well.
Yeah. I don't know if I leave well. I think I become so afraid of the conversation that I avoid it. And by the time I tell you, we already down the street.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you what's already happened as opposed to what I should have told you a few months ago. Yeah. This is what I'm considering.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they have not been as supportive as I would have wanted, I don't think I put them in a position to be supportive in the way they could have been if I would have told them earlier.
Yeah.
So because of that, I don't look at any of those pastors negatively. My goal is always for reconciliation. And for those who have been extremely supportive, it's great. I'm appreciative. There are some pastors who like Pastor John Hannah. We sang for Pastor Hannah years in worship and even today, but his posture towards me is different and I appreciate it. So there's so many pastors who have walked me through this journey and some who have been a little bit more hands-off. Yeah. But it's because of me and how I handled it.
I like the way you answered that because literally, I don't know if you heard when I was just talking to team, I'm not good with repair because of my traumatic past. Because I only come with truth from the top. I don't have negotiations without my truth, but thanks to therapy, I got tools, so I ain't got to go from 1 to 100. I've only done that once in our 2-year stint here on the show. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, he came out again. Yeah. But I'm not good with repair, and then I'm also not good with letting the other person kind of be a part of the conversation of this is what I'm considering. It'll kind of be like, hey, this is what we doing. And I don't often leave well at all. Yeah. So with that being said, like, what do you think would be the proper way for a person like me, now that you're a little bit down the road, 5 years in ministry, and you've seen some of your issues that you could have done better? Like, how do you leave well when you love a person or you love the man of God, you love the house, but you feel like God is tugging you there? Do you think that's something that may have stemmed from like childhood? Like, how does that work?
I think for me, let's talk about you. I think for both of us. Yeah. I got to make it personal. For me, I don't know if I've seen good departures.
That's true.
If you think back, have you seen a good transition? Yeah. And if you haven't, then it hasn't been modeled. So you're replicating bad transition. Yeah. And for me, I've replicated every negative transition. My father left. My my mother divorced when I was very young. My father was abusive to my mother. And I've seen my mother in every other relationship try to keep that relationship going to the point where it was far past repair. With my mom and, my sisters and I have reconciled with this. My mom left when I was 16 because of what was happening between her and her husband. So I don't blame her. But she transitioned out. So I was by myself at 16.
Where did you go?
I was at the house. My mother and my stepfather owned a house in Bridgeport, Connecticut. He was all over the place. She moved to New York and I stayed in the house at 16 years old. And, I went and got a telemarketing job.
At 16?
At 16. And I had a relationship with the Chinese food place around the corner, and they would let me pay them on Fridays. I would eat all week. Yeah, that's how I lived from 16 till I was going to college. So
you kept going to school?
I kept going to school. Okay, and I was doing telemarketing at night. Yeah, and I didn't know that I was supposed to pay the mortgage. Yeah. That wasn't my house. I'm living there, so the house got foreclosed on with me in it. And then my stepfather came home and got mad at me because I wasn't paying the mortgage for
at 16.
At 16 years old. So because of that, again, my mom was gone. We didn't have a conversation with, hey, this is what's going on between me and your stepfather. So I'm gonna have to go here. Do you want to go with me? Her conversation was, I'm gone. after it was already, like she was moving 2 days later. So I'm thinking about my transitions now. I'm telling people I'm gone when I've already accepted the opportunity to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Before I had even told the person I'm leaving that it's time to go. If I could really redo the way those transition happens, I would tell the person I'm going to transit the ministry I'm leaving. You know, I feel the Lord calling me this way. Can you walk me through it? What did your transition look like? Because everybody's had the transition. What did your transition look like going from one space to the other?
Right.
And that would have given them the opportunity to be a part of my transition as opposed to being a victim of it.
That's so good. I hope you're taking notes. I mean, honestly, and that's what this show is for. Like, literally, I think we need to get journals. Like, I think we need to do Love You More journals, and then you can write the episode, put the name, and then be able to take some of these notes, because these are jewels. And I believe it works your dendrites and neurons when you get the opportunity to write with a pen. To my young people, you know you're getting old when you start calling people.
When you say young people.
You know, the young people ministry got this Sunday. I didn't say that. Cut that out. Anywho, but no, honestly, I think you need to write this stuff down because I believe it's really, really beneficial. JJ, I want to just go back just a little bit. So you're 16 years old. So daddy left.
Yeah.
When you were a lot younger.
Yeah. My mom divorced him. I applaud her for her strength.
Okay.
He was abusing her.
Okay.
So they got divorced when I was very young.
So did you ever get an opportunity to maybe reconcile with him? Did he die? Did he leave? Do you know?
I've seen my father I could count probably on two hands the number of times I've seen my father before he died.
Wow.
And you know,
were you grown when he died or still a kid?
I was grown.
Okay.
He transitioned a few years ago. Okay. So my father, I remember at 3 years old, you know, I have and I don't know how it's possible, Will, but I remember some kind of glimpse in my head of my mother being dragged. That's all I remember. I remember her leg. That's all I remember. And I didn't know what that meant until I found out. My older sisters told me that he was abusing her. I didn't, you know how you can have those visions? That's all I had. Yeah. I saw my dad the next time when I was about 10. And I don't know if they worked out an arrangement, we could see each other. I remember he brought me, you know, this is how vivid these memories are. Yeah. He went to McDonald's and got me one of them Happy Meals, and it was in his green spaceship. I remember it because it was so special to me because my dad came to see me. Yeah. Next time I remember, he in New York, he was a cab driver in New York City. Okay, and he was accused of raping a woman. It was put on the news. And come to find out, he wasn't accused. They took his picture, put it on the front of the paper, and it wasn't him. So he sued the newspaper, won $300,000. I'll never forget it.
Wow.
He gave me, this is so real. He gave me $30,000 to buy a co-op in Bridgeport, Connecticut. It's like a little townhouse. But he put me on a payment plan to pay him back. This at 21 years old. He didn't give me the house. Now, mind you, this is all he's ever given me. But he put me on a payment plan to pay him back. That was at 21. And because I failed my payments, he stopped speaking to me. That was my relationship with my dad. Yeah. So then the next time I really got to see him, you don't want all this story.
No, I'm totally listening. It's safe. I'm enjoying, you know.
I was at a radio station in New York, WLIB. And I'm walking in the station and the receptionist says, "Are you JJ Hairston?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Your dad's on the phone." I haven't spoken to my dad in years. He called the receptionist and said, "Yeah, I heard you at the radio today. Why don't you tell me you were going to be in the city?" I don't even have my dad's number. Yeah. But he wanted to, at that point, I realized that he wanted to build the connection through what was happening for me musically, but he had no interest in being connected to me personally. And that hurt. It hurt real bad because I'm like, this dude has never really wanted me because he had the opportunity. I'm the same dude I've always been. But because now he saw a platform, he wanted to be connected. So there were a few more occasions where the same type of thing happened. And I'll be honest, that did not break me to the point where I didn't think I would be a good person as far as a family man. It fueled me wanting to be a good father. I think it's because of my relationship with my dad, or the lack thereof, that I've been so intentional with my son.
Yeah.
I love him not only because of what he does. Like, you know, people talk, oh, your son does this, your son does that. But for me, like, that's my boy. He will always be. He's one of my closest. People call him J4. He's always going to be Nooch to me.
I joke with him with
and
that.
he's honestly one of the closest people in the world to me because I love him outside of his gift. Yeah. Because my dad didn't love me outside of mine.
Yeah. Are you open to an insert of a different thought? Maybe not the correct thought, maybe not the truth talk, but just a different reframing of it. Because I got an opportunity to hear it without emotion. I got a chance to hear raw truth. So I just want you to take yourself out of JJ Hairston and kind of put yourself in a moment where, let's just say, you've been married for 31 years, but let's just say in the first beginning of the year, first beginning of the relationship, you and Trina didn't work out.
Yeah.
And you don't get an opportunity to necessarily, as a child, you don't necessarily get a chance to hear what that woman says to the man and how she makes him feel. Because now you 31 years in, I'm sure there's been some things that she said to be like, I can't believe you said that. Yeah. But thank God your anchor is in Jesus. So it's like, y'all can pray through it, work through it. But if you don't have that type of anchor, you just live with this perpetual story in your head that she thinks I'm A, B, and C. So most men flee away from danger naturally because they're going to do one or two things. They're going to aggressively attack it. They're going to mess stuff up. And they just like, I'm not finna go to jail. I'm finna get away from this thing. You continue to think about this boy all your life. Like, damn, I left that boy over there though. You come back and you say, I did not teach him how to be a boy. I did not teach him how to be a teenager. Yeah. But I'm going to invest to see if I can make this boy a man. And out of $300,000, which is 10%, he took the tithe, he took the tenth, and he gave it to his son. He gives it to his son. He could easily just give it to him because, hell, he didn't know $300,000 was coming, but he wanted to teach a lesson. That when somebody gives you something, you got to pay this stuff back. I want to teach you a life lesson at 21. I know I can't take you to the baseball game. I know I can't take you to church. I know I can't put your school clothes on, but at 21, I want to start. I want to right my wrong. I'm going to drop 30 and all I need you to do is give me 500. Give me 900. Just give me something. And I want to teach you this lesson. They usually don't know how to communicate that correctly. But what men don't understand is that when you come back into a child's life, like time actually stops in their little emotional heart. Like you left at this time. Yeah. Like you got to pay me back for all of that, bro. Like you can't just come in and drop some money and think everything gonna be cool. But in a man's eyes, they just like, I'm at least gonna set him up at this, that, and other. If he was alive, the story would be in his head, man, that woman, man, she was just this, that, and the man, and you know, I was wrong. I left the kids. I was wrong for that. But I came back. Right. And I dropped some money on him. You know, he couldn't need this, that, and other. Yeah. And he would find a way to make himself the hero in the story because his heart may have been postured to some kind of, in a cool, quirky way, he thought that he was doing the right thing. And it was like, man, he let me down, but you let me down. So now you got these two people who are letting things down, but thank God you were anchored in Jesus. So then he comes back after you doing music, because if you're anything like me, because I was adopted, I became successful in areas that I probably shouldn't have been successful in because I wanted the biggest platform to show my parents what they missed out on. Like I wanted to show her. Yeah. And I wanted to show him that I'm not the garbage. Although my forever parents told me that I was chosen, I think subconsciously I always thought that I was looked over. And so I was so grateful that when I met them, I had been to therapy so much. And Love McPherson, shout out to her, she did 2 years of therapy and would not let me pay her a dime. Wow. And so now when people came into my life, I always thought maybe they could be like Love McPherson. because she didn't want anything from me. She just wanted to see me well. I spent a lot of time in my life, like, you only here for my talent. Like, and so I would put this little thing up. So when my biological family came in, I didn't have that same eye. Like, I was like, they don't want nothing from me, because they could be like, love. I had an option. I had a thought. Yeah. And I just think sometimes if we reframe the story, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, or even the truth, I think sometimes it gives ourselves a little solace and peace, because there'll be these little residue parts in us that'll be like, damn, he shouldn't have never did that, bro. Like, that wasn't even right. So I've learned how to reframe the story that I continuously played in my head about what my mama did or what my dad did. And not that it plagued me in anything. It was just a little something for me to give me just a little bit more peace. But I just know sometimes I know how men are. Yeah. It's like we'll just throw a little bird, throw a little something to it, and, well, I tried. Yeah. And if we don't have the tools, we don't know how to follow up. So when I heard you say that about Dad, like, he dropped $30,000. Oh, he thought he was doing something.
Bro, I've never thought about it that way. Yeah. I've never considered that he was trying to teach me something. Because by the time he came in my life, I felt like he owed me something. And you know what? Honestly, if we'd have had a conversation.
He didn't know how. Yeah. He didn't know how. Nobody had a conversation with him.
Yeah. And that's, this is the crazy thing, bro. Mm-hmm. I didn't find out until maybe 10 years ago. My dad was abandoned at a train station, at a bus station.
Wow.
All my life, Grandma Lucille was my grandmother. Mm-hmm. I sound real old. Grandma Lucille, that was my grandmother.
I
didn't know until maybe 10 years ago that my birth grandmother, his mother, left him at 10 years old. He and his twin brother Daniel left him at a bus station. So this is cycles of abandonment that we've all had to deal with. Yeah. I felt abandoned by my dad, but he was abandoned by his mom. And that's a different level of abandonment. When your mom leaves you somewhere and don't even make sure you good, leaves you at a bus station. So that's the way I was able to forgive him. Like, he didn't know no better. Now, if he would have said to me, JJ, I'm going to teach you how to be responsible. I would have taken that and I promise you, I would have worked my butt off to make sure I paid him back. But I felt like, you put me on a payment plan and you haven't paid me a dime on my life. The only thing I ever got from you was a Happy Meal. I felt like you owed me that 30 grand. Yeah. And some. Yeah. If you'd have been taken to court, you'd have got paid more than 30 G's. Yeah. So you sharing that with me has really helped me a lot just in this moment. Yeah. Because honestly, my son, when it came time for him to buy his house, there was no payment plan.
Yeah, it won't be.
Yeah.
I mean, God had a beautiful way to orchestrate it. Yeah. Because you will break the cycle. As I told my children, you don't get an opportunity to get divorced. I'll also help you with the decision, because that leaves our bloodline through you guys. Wow. I broke alcohol. I broke drugs. You'll break divorce. And it won't go into our next group of young men who are going to bring in people into this world. What you've had the opportunity to do, you've broke the curse of, abandonment. Yeah. Like, you continue to show up. I mean, I'm blessed to know you as a friend. So I remember when, your best friend now, Jay, when he was at, I forgot what college he was. He wasn't doing right. Yeah. Cause we was backstage, Khalil there. He was like, man, I'm talking, we praying, the weather. I think you sent him down to, I want to say North Carolina, South Carolina, something like that.
South Carolina, to Travis Greene. I will always be indebted to Travis Greene. Yeah. My son was bugging. Yeah. He was first semester in college. He had never been outside of me and his mom's care.
He was having them ball.
So he went down there and wild out. Yeah. And he said, he wanted to stay in school, but he was failing. Yeah. I said, no, I got something for you. Yeah. Sent him down to my brother, Travis Greene. He got involved in Forward City Church. He was going to Benedict College.
Yeah, Benedict, yeah.
And he's a different man today, a father, husband, doing amazing things because I have friends. And that's what I want everybody to understand too. Fatherhood is not saying I'm the king, I can do it by myself. Me being a man says, hey, I need another man to help me raise my son, because I see something special. I see what God's going to do in his future, but it doesn't look like that now. So I need you to help me. And Travis helped me, so I'll always be indebted to him. But you're right. At that time, it was a different season, bro. Yeah. And I wish my dad would have done that for me. But you did help me shape my perspective in a different way.
You know, and listen, I have been literally put on blast on social media. Like, he always takes up for men. I was like, it's because I was adopted by a 94-year-old. Like, well, he's 94 now, but he was an older man. So I'm a child with a 50-year-old daddy.
Wow.
And so he would tell me this all the time. And Shaquan, you can beep it out just for the sake of the conversation. I got to be real. He said, look at Willie. You know, I'm always going to give you this from 4 perspectives because I done been 4 times. I was like, what, Dad? I've been a baby. I've been a teenager. I've been a man. And now I'm an old man.
Wow.
And so I'm going to give you 4 different perspectives because I understand each level of life. And he would always like give me a perspective because I was little and I was a little aggressive. Yeah. And he'd be like, look here, man, you want to go down there and fight that man. Let me tell you what that man was going through. And this is what this boy go. Let me just shape something. Let me just put something in your head. That boy living over there with his mama only. You got a daddy and a mama and they think you got a candy store. That little boy is jealous of you and he wants some candy. Look, don't fight him. Share the candy. Watch what happened to him. Wow. And I'd be like, I'm not sharing with him. He's like, listen to me, man. I done been 4 times. And that was his bit. And I would bring those kids in. Daddy has shaped my mind to see their full perspective, to take myself out of the shoes. And then I'll give them the candy. And then they'd be like, oh, that's my friend, or this, that, another. And then I'm thinking like, oh, they just like me because I got candy. He's like, no, they like you now because you shared.
Wow.
Because they living with their mama.
Yeah.
And you wasn't no surprise to us. We chose you. We had our stuff in order.
Amazing.
We went and looked for a child. We had our money in order. We had to clean our house. But we did that, and it just helped me shape it. So when it comes to men, because of my daddy being a Negro 4 times, I'm like, sometimes men, we don't, when it's not done for us, we just don't know how to communicate, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. Was there any time in your life where you had to go back to your son and say, hey, man, I apologize for that. I was a little off kilter on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
His first 5 years of life, well, you know, I've been honest about this. Me and my wife have been very transparent. We've been married 31 years. Our first 10 years.
I remember you told me
that wasn't right. It wasn't right. Yeah. We were living in separate places, different relationships. All my fault. What I want to do is what I can own, I will own. Yeah. And my wife came into the relationship wanting to be with me. I came into the relationship wanting to be with parts of her. And
explain that a little bit more. What parts did you want to be a part of, and then what parts like, bro, I don't want to be a part of that?
I wanted the physical relationship.
Of course.
I wanted the church notoriety, the church relationship, but the personal accountability I didn't want. I wanted to be with her when I wanted to be with her. She was in 100%, I was in 60. And that 40% put us in separate places. That 40% put us in different relationships. That's all on me. And my son was born 2 years after us getting married. And no lie, bro, when he was coming up, I thought I was the hero because we were separated. So my house was set up like Disney World. You know what I'm saying? I had at the time Sega Genesis, and there was a movie theater right down the street, and Blockbuster Video was popping at the time.
On a Friday?
and the pizza place. So when he came over, it's like everything you go want is here. But I'll never forget when my wife and I decided that it was time for us to be in 100% on both of us. I told him first. I said, you know, I know you like being here, but me and your mom are getting back together, so it's gonna be different now. I said, our relationship gonna be, me and you gonna be different, and me and your mom are gonna be different. I want to make sure you're okay with that. Now he was about 5 at the time, and I'm thinking like he's gonna be mad because we can't play Sega Genesis no more. Yeah. He laid on my chest and cried because as much as I thought he wanted the presents, he wanted the presents. He didn't want the games and the Friday night and the weekend parties. He wanted us to be consistently together. He wanted me to be with his mother. I thought he was going to be mad because it was going to be taking time away from him. But it was more important to him that I was with her. So when that happened, I realized I owed him an apology because I thought I gave you what you wanted all this time. But really what you wanted was your whole family. Now, of course, there are people who the situations make it impossible for them to reconcile in that way. And I own that. As much as we have said, God hates divorce, and it's the truth. I think about my mom. I applaud her strength for divorcing my dad. Yeah. Even if I wanted him to be in a relationship with me, but I didn't want him to be with her. Not if it put her in physical harm. So I understand that it's not always possible, but when it is possible, I'm so grateful that our relationship being reconciled was what my son needed, and I was able to give it to him. And I got one of the best prizes in the world. Yeah. I got my wife back. So it's
shout out to Trina.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It's amazing that me showing up for him has rekindled and rebirthed a relationship between me and my wife. And I owed him an apology for those years that he didn't have it in the way he needed.
That's real. Hey, so family, listen, I'm going to pause this conversation, take a small look at this video, and get involved if you choose. Check this out. Hey, I'm on the set of something very special that's happening for the Love You More show and the Willie Moore Jr. show brand. Here's the thing. I've done all that I can. Now it's important for you to do what I can. We're looking for partners to help us continue to build out this amazing new studio in hopes that we can continue to expand this brand. So here's the thing. If you love what you're watching, if you love what you're listening to, and you want to see it grow, become a part of our Patreon family, which we've now coined the Flatout family, okay? So if you want to join the Flatout family, it's a lot of incentives in there. Make sure that you click the link. It's available right here in this YouTube link. And then of course, to those of you who just want to go to flatoutfamily.com, it's available there too. All right, back to the episode. Wow, make sure that you click that website. It's going to be off the chain. JJ, I got to ask you this, man. You talked a little bit about those first 5 years. And what I've noticed just, with my audience and with the Flatout family, a lot of older people are now getting into relationships. I call them my later daters, my seenagers, baby. Yeah. They like, hey, I'm single. They be trying to talk to me because I like to wear my arms out. I'm like, baby, don't get your 401k to it. Come on. Listen, you don't want to play with right. You know what I'm saying? Don't do me like that. That's why I'm staying in my lane. But I do want to ask you this. You talked about the first 5 years being extremely difficult. Like, what decisions could have been made that were unselfish that could maybe alleviate that 5-year stint of just going back and forth? The first 10 years, like, what would you advise couples to do in the beginning stages of relationships, of marriage?
I think that premarital counseling is necessary. And I think that, now we're pastors, obviously we counsel couples before they get married. And you would think that those first sessions are really about preparing them for what's to come. Let me tell you something. I can tell you what to do with your bank account. I could tell you how to handle your physical relationship, all that. I could tell you all of it based on our experience. But what I found out is that the real reason that you have premarital counseling is to make sure that everybody has the same decision before you're going in. Like, everybody's going in with the same mindset. Like, we're getting married because of our connection to each other and because we believe that God has brought us together. When you don't both have the same thoughts of why you're getting married, you'll walk down the aisle, you'll have an amazing, first couple of days, and then you'll realize, we don't want the same thing.
No. Yeah.
And I wanted to be with you for this. You wanted to be with me for me. And because my this is not the same as your this, we're going to mess up. I think if we would have made sure our thises were the same, then we would have not had those terrible times. And that's not on her. That's on me. My this was wrong. Yeah. So if I would have, first of all, had premarital counseling, and let's be real, the Bible says it's better for a man to marry than to burn with lust. That's
on. That's what they used to tell you. Come on, you better get married than lust. You'd be like, I do.
But guess what? guess what I found out, bro? That don't change once you get married. That lust is the same.
Yeah.
Lust don't change once you get married. It's proper stewardship and it's proper decision making that's gonna keep you from sin.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that once I get married, all of a sudden I'm good.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna want nothing else. The Lord has taken over my members and I am good.
Yeah.
But I found out that lust is still there. Is now, okay, now I don't want just her. I'm gonna want somebody else because I got what I'm supposed to have. Lust means you want what you're not supposed to have.
That's true.
So I didn't properly check myself and I married for the wrong reasons. I married the right woman for the wrong reasons.
Wow.
So if I would have been more real with myself about why I was getting married, I would have been a better husband in those first 10 years.
Man, that's so awesome. So now you guys, is it Mila? Is that
Mila? That's my first grandbaby. That's J4's first baby. So it's Mila is, okay, you about to be real personal. Psalm is my 21-year-old daughter Janae's baby. So it's Mila, Psalm, and J5. Psalm is special because my 21-year-old daughter, I don't have to get real personal, but she's not married. And, you know, I'll never forget the day I found out she was pregnant. Trina, knowing me, knowing my upbringing, because as much as I messed up, I'm from a traditional background. Yeah. So I'm ready to fight, right? She said, you know, she took me to the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh, good woman.
Sit on the couch, let me talk to you.
So she told mama first.
She told mama first. Of course.
Okay.
Trina has an amazing relationship with my kids.
Got it.
She's the nurturer. She nurtures me. So
okay, so she's the nurturer. Yeah. Okay, got it.
So she's telling them, and you know, they told her. So she takes me. First of all, J5 finds out. J4 finds out before me. He's the wrong person to keep a secret from me. I'm telling you right now. He at church on Sunday morning, he hugged me crying, not telling me what happened. Oh, like, what is going on? Yeah. Because he's hurt because he knows I'm gonna be hurt. She takes me to the hotel, tells me what's going on. And I told my daughter, after, because everybody expected me to blow up. No blow up. I said, you know, I'm gonna love you and that baby. Here's why. I remember my sisters. We're from a traditional church in New York, and I love my upbringing. But we also came up in the time where they would sit you on a chair in the middle of the sanctuary and apologize to the church for being pregnant. I remember my sister, my older sister, having to apologize to the church for getting pregnant. And I said, as much as I'm disappointed, I'm not going to make her feel ashamed for what she did. That's the first reaction I had. However, as things started going on, I got angrier and angrier. But when I saw Psalm, my life changed, bro. I love Mila. I love J5. That's my namesake. But what I love the most about Psalm is how beautiful God can create something so beautiful out of what we will consider to be a mistake. And I think my attention towards her is, I'm going to love you in spite of what the enemy tried to do to create a division between me and my daughter. Yeah. So our relationship has also caused this amazing reconciliation between me and my daughter. So my grandkids are very special to me. And it's so funny because Janae came when me and Trina were broken up. Now here's Psalm, who comes at a time when me and my daughter were having a really rough time. So there's always this reconciliation that God sends, and he sends it through a person. Yeah. And Janae and JL Janae and Psalm are those people for me.
Man, you know, we were trying to get Janae and Khalil together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, listen, I know what stock she come from. I know what stock they come from. Yeah. We need to just. And but I'm so grateful for that, man. I didn't know that she had a new baby. Like I knew, you know, I'm a lot closer to
J4.
J4. Yeah. I knew he had a couple babies, but I just remember that. So now that you have gone through 31 years of marriage, I didn't know like the story about your dad. Didn't know about the story about your mom. how do you raise a family when you didn't necessarily have one? What tools did you have to go get to be a father when the father wasn't present? What tools did you have to get to break the abandonment curse that was in your family? Like, it's one thing to step up to the plate and make mistakes, but it's another thing to stick and stay.
Yeah.
Is that accountability partners? Is that foundationally? I know it's the Bible. I know it's God's presence, but sometimes my flesh be like, oh, bro, I can do this. It's in my blood. I can just, But what made you stick and stay? How did you develop in becoming a father? Because, your son actually really loves you.
Yeah.
He represents you well outside of your presence.
Yeah.
I'm not a judge. I'm a fruit inspector.
Wow.
So I'm looking at the fruit. I'm like, you did something right. You know what I'm saying? So like, how do you learn these tools when you never seen them?
Well, we had this bishop came to my church. He's a therapist. Okay. But he's a preacher. Yeah. But he's an amazing preacher because he's such a good therapist. Mm-hmm. And he talked about Paul, how Paul said, he asked God to take the thorn away 3 times. Mm-hmm. He said, no, my grace is sufficient. Mm-hmm. What does that grace look like? We always think it's like this amazing feeling. No, it's proper coping skills, right? So for me, it wasn't necessarily like this overwhelming example of what a good father was, but it was building healthy habits and coping skills along the way to compensate for what I hadn't seen. Mm-hmm. And I learned, as far as accountability, I didn't have anybody I trusted to be in my life like that to tell me what I should or should not do, because I hadn't seen the example. Like, oh, how you gonna teach me? Because I'm looking at you, and I'm a fruit inspector like you. Right. So my wife and I became our own accountability. This is no lie, bro. And initially, when we got back together, we decided a few things that were going to happen. So
you did set borders and boundaries after you stayed gone for 5 years?
Yes.
Did you date someone else during that time?
Yes.
And she had someone else too?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Well, let me say this. This is how the Lord taught me some real lessons, bro. Mm-hmm. During that time we were separated, she stayed so devoted to me.
She did.
We got back together. Then that's when temptation comes. And she just starts having improper conversations. And we've been very transparent about this. Mm-hmm. And I ain't gonna lie, when it happened, I'm out. I'm leaving. How dare you do this to me?
I'm out.
And then the Lord said, word?
You like, that's what we doing, yo?
You forgot?
Yeah.
You gonna leave her after she forgave you for all you did?
Yeah.
So I had to now not only learn how to be forgiven, but how to forgive. Because I was good with figuring out how to build trust.
Yeah, you strategic.
Yeah, I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna help you trust me. And that's what we did. When we got back together, I set up some strong boundaries to help her learn how to trust me. I said, when I leave my job, on the way from work to the time I get to the house, I'm going to talk to you all the way.
That's good.
It's going to be me and you on the phone. Mm-hmm. So you'll never have to worry about who I'm talking to.
Got it.
Then when I get to the house, it's me and you. Mm-hmm. If I go away and you can't go, I'm putting my phone next to me and we're going to talk all night till we fall asleep. Mm-hmm. And when we wake up, we're going to be on the phone.
That's good.
So you'll never have to be concerned about what's happening, to the point where now you don't have to worry because we've already built this trust. Mm-hmm. So I did that. But then when she broke trust with me, I didn't know how to forgive.
Yeah. I
didn't know how to receive. Like, you violated what I thought was real. Mm-hmm. And then, I ain't gonna lie, bro, to this day, if a thought comes, it's like I gotta cast it down. The Bible says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Mm-hmm. So you gotta shake them thoughts out of your head. Mm-hmm. It's because that thought can create a spiral. So what I realized is it's not really the consideration that something could happen again. Mm-hmm. It's me wanting to know every detail of what happened when it was happening. Mm-hmm. And those details are what create more opportunities for spirals. So I had to get to a point where I forgive you and I don't need to know everything that happened. Mm-hmm. Once I got to that place, we are now at the place where we can lead other couples in forgiveness in the full spectrum.
Yeah.
before that, I could only tell you how to be forgiven. I couldn't tell you how to forgive.
No,
but now I can teach people how to forgive because I've had to forgive.
Yeah.
And forgiveness was not big in my family. Because of our abandonment issues, we were good at leaving.
Yeah.
We were good at saying, oh, I'm good.
Peace.
Done.
Yeah.
But now I've had to learn how to stay in spite of the hurt.
Yeah.
And in spite of the mistrust and broken trust. And it made us it's made us better pastors. It's made us better husbands and wives and fathers and mothers because we've learned how to do all of it, not just the part of it that makes us the victim, if that makes sense.
I'm doing that because I wanted you to make sure that you know that even though I got the same outfit on, this is a commercial. Listen, I want to encourage every single person under the sound of my voice who has an organization that you feel needs a family audience to learn more about what you are pushing. Maybe you say, Willie Moore Jr., we help adopted families, foster care families. Maybe you help men. Any family organization or church organization that really represents family, hey, we want to partner with you. Here's the thing. We're looking for a medium commitment, meaning it's not a long-term commitment, but it's not a one and done. If you are an organization who needs to be in front of ladies ages 35 to 74, right? If you need to be in front of young men ages 35 to about 54, and you say, I have a family message that can really resonate with this audience, we want to welcome you to hit this little email, info@loveyoumore.com, info@loveyoumore.com. That little email is literally in the description of this video, and we are looking to partner with organizations who represent family. The more we go, the more we know. And we're learning who our audience is, and we're learning how to make it more beneficial for you and your organization. Click that little email, and we'll make sure that we connect with you. Flat out. Man, not only her, but I'm just proud of you. There's a level of freedom that I've noticed now, just in the spirit. Like when I was on the treadmill, it's so crazy. When I'm working out, a lot of people think I work out just to have cool body and all that other stuff, but it just took the place of alcohol and like cigars and stuff, because I would do it all the time. But that's really where I meet God and just kind of hang out. Yeah. And I was, I said, I got JJ today, God. Like, what do we want to talk about? And then he brought back to remembrance me and my former wife and you and Trina, and y'all told me the story about. He just brought like different moments that we've had in the last decade. Can you believe that, right? And then, even though you have amassed such an amazing career, I said, well, God, what is like, how do we get this James 2 and 4 when we get down to 4, when it's like, how do we get JJ to lack nothing? Wow. And I don't know if you've ever shared with people, but God showed me that even at the pinnacle of your career, you always had a question about if you were good enough. Oh, yeah. Like you would walk in rooms and everybody would be singing songs that you did, and you would look like, I don't know if I'm even supposed to be here. Yeah. And so I just want to confirm, man, and affirm to let you know that you are more than enough. Wow. That you are a faithful man, that you are an honorable man. And even as I tell you these things, your brain goes to what you do not do right. Yeah. That's God's job, bro. Like he wants you to be a pastor. He wants you to go and do marketplace. He wants you to go do worship. But this time he wants you to do it with the confidence and the fact that he equipped you and gave you everything that you need for everything that you need. Wow. Like you are enough. Like I was on the thing, I was like, but JJ, look, he got the coolest beard in the game, God. What you mean? Like, I mimic my beard off of JJ. I'm like, give me the JJ Hairston beard. Wow. Y'all can. Look at this bitch. You see this bitch? You see how it hit like Abraham Lincoln at the top? And then God says, he never really thought he belonged. Yeah. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong if you feel. You're absolutely right, bro. Honestly, it's that type of affirmation that I never received. And like you said, where you almost feel like you're doing it so you could prove something right, prove yourself like valuable, and you're validating the fact that you do belong. Yeah. For me, I felt like I was always in place as the replacement. Like I started to become the leader of Youth for Praise because Sean Brown, who was the leader, went on to become a pastor. It's not like it was like, okay, JJ's the one. Now, I think that revealed what I could do, but I don't know if I would have been chosen to do it if he didn't leave.
So I always felt like, do I belong? Am I good enough? Am I strong enough? Do I know enough? Am I powerful enough? Am I anointed enough? But honestly, over the last year, I've just relaxed in the fact that it's not even about me.
Yeah.
It's not about me being good enough. It's about God being good enough. And if I just get out the way and let him show up, then people will see him through me.
Yeah.
But up until that point, honestly, I was just telling somebody, the first 10 years of the Stellars, I remember looking at the bottoms of people's shoes as they went up and accepted the awards. And I'm sitting in my seat. And I'm like, you know what? I'll never be up there. To the point where I said, I don't have to be up there to be valuable. And that's when I won my first. You know what I'm saying? So
that sounds like the God I know. Every time you be like, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, no, I'm starting.
The year I wasn't gonna go was the year I won. You know what I'm saying? And then the next time it was like, we got dropped from a record label, bro. It's like, okay, we dropped. I ain't got no money to do this by myself. Yeah. Well, just, do what you can and put some of your old songs together and put a new song on the record. And that's the You Deserve It record. That's all I did. And it's like, you know what? I put it out on your own. I put it out on my own. It's the highest selling record we ever had. So it's always God showing us that you trusting in other stuff. You even trusting in yourself more than you trust in me. And now that I've learned to trust him, now that I have that history, I've learned, okay, you know what? Whenever I don't feel good enough, if I trust him, he's going to show something that's even crazier than I would have ever been able to be powerful enough to do.
Man, JJ, I really appreciate you sharing this story. Family, can I just talk to you real quick? I just want to do this real quick. The enemy is so crafty. And, I'm not giving him glory, so don't put that in the comments. You always get, no, I'm not giving him that. But I want to tell you, he continues to use the same strategy. It's never changing. So when I look at the JJ Hairston story and I thank God that he felt safe enough to share, so you have this child who's at a very young age, he sees his mom go through some very, very actually terrifying and tough stuff with his father. They break up and then father leaves, right? And so now you have this little scar of abandonment because the enemy is never focused on your now. He's always focused on the sabotage of your later. And so he adds this little piece, he writes it in, and then it's like, because all he had was a glimpse of it, because the enemy wants to just give you glimpses so you can still rely on those small glimpses. So now he sits there and he's like, man, going to practice or going to music. And you see all these guys and like, damn, where my dad at? You know what I mean? Or whatever. And then finally the dad comes back and he tries to do something that's pretty cool, but he adds a caveat, like, you got to pay me back. But you owe me something though, like you weren't there. And so you have two people in there like, don't really understand the blessing. And then you get grown. And because of this abandonment over here, you always walk in different places and like, okay, what people here for? It doesn't allow you to trust. And then you find a wife, but you don't necessarily get the wife because you want the wife. It's like, well, you find it just kind of work out. And then you realize like, wait a minute. When you look back at the seed, there was always something in that seed that wanted to allow me to disconnect. But when you look at the story of JJ Hairston now, you realize that even in the parts where the enemy attempted to disconnect, God was always showing up with a really cool win. His 5-year-old son says, I really love it, cries on his chest. It's a God wink. Go back over that way. Okay, I'm going to set up some boundaries to make sure everything is good, to make sure you know. And then, oh man, she talked something and now you got to forgive again. Boom. But you still keep going and you learn something else. And then finally you get to this pinnacle of music and everybody knows the record. And it's like, man, I ain't never going to really make it like that. And then it doesn't happen. So that little abandonment, it goes back there. And then finally you get the Stellar Award on a day that you probably didn't even wear the suit that you wanted to because you was like, man, I just put something together, right? For me, I love hearing people's journeys because I get an opportunity to see God. And then I also get the opportunity to see the little tricks and those little seeds that have been placed inside of everybody's journey that were made to distract and deter and to try to get them off course. But I thank God for his gospel. And of course, it's the Willie Moore Jr. version In James 1, 2-4, it says, count it all joy when you face trials of many kind. Now here go to catch 22. Hell, that don't sound too pleasing to me. Because if I'm facing trials of many kind, I'm going to be like, nope, I don't want no joy. Because I don't feel joy. I actually feel pissed to the highest level of pistivity, if I can be honest with you. I don't know if you had trials that make you feel like, God, where in the heck are you? Like, how can I be doing the right thing and the wrong thing keeps on happening? I'm trying to be faithful. I set up these borders. I set up these boundaries. I'm doing the right thing. Why does things keep going so awry? And then you read that scripture and it goes on to say, you count it all joy because he's allowing perseverance to have his perfect work. Like he's teaching you something. And then finally, at the end of that scripture in 4, it says, so you will not lack nothing. So whenever you face these trials, you point out where the trial is, you put a smile on your face because you know God is developing something in you, so you will lack nothing. That means emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, everything that you want is in this trial. After 31 years of marriage, I'm so encouraged to know that they can be free from everything that happened in hopes that it can be a help to people like you and I. My challenge to you today is, although your little small seed is different from JJ's, my little small seed was adoption and always thinking that I had to perform to get love. My homework for you today is to go back and just look and say, what seed was planted in me that is allowing me to choose behaviors that is less than the purpose that God has for me? And this may take some time. In fact, during this show, I'm going to do my best to partner with BetterHelp in hopes that we can get more people like you in our therapy. Because I want you to walk through this thing, man. Listen, he might not even be the problem, your husband. He might not even be the problem. It may be the little seed that was planted in you when you was a child, when your mama told you that, you know, men ain't no good. You don't even know how that stuck with you. It might have been that coach who told you that you would never do this, this, and this. And although you proved them wrong, bro, you became real successful. You are still trying to make sure that coach is a lie in your marriage, in other jobs. Even though you get success, you still don't feel successful because it was just a little seed that was planted. I don't want you to go to the grave with that seed. I want you to pull it up from the root. I want you to get the help that you need. I want you to be successful. I want you to feel this love that God has given me now that has casted out all fear. I'm not afraid about who leaves. I'm not afraid about who stays. I'm not afraid I'm not so in love with the claps that I'm not in love with the boos. I love it all because I have discovered that the seeds can't break me, but the testimony will make me. And my future can't shake me because I know who holds my future. I introduce you to the God that I know, who will never leave me nor forsake me, and he'll never leave or forsake you. But it's up to us to ask him, how do we investigate what's been planted in me that is no longer necessary for my future? You now live in abundance, but you're still in survivor mode. It's time to thrive in every area of your life. Prick that little seed up, get the help that you need, and fly like an eagle, baby, because that's who you are. Do me a favor. If you love this show, if you felt like any of those messages hit your heart, like put it in the comments what you just learned, or put it in the comments like, man, I kind of felt the part, because I'm going to go back in there and I'm going to look, and then I'm going to answer these questions. I'm just going to comment on those questions because we'll start doing live shows too. And I just want to let you know how much I love you, man. Like, I bring these guests on because I want to make sure that you know that you're not alone in this thing and that there's a victory on the other side of your trial. It's just completing you. So in the midst of it all, don't forget to love yourself more. Go find that little part that he put in there, prick it out. That's the first thing you could do to love yourself more. Subscribe to this channel. Follow JJ Hairston. New music is out. Of course, tune into the Willie Mo Jr. show. We're going to be playing it. You know JJ nowadays, hell, he going to go number one. That's just what he do. It's like it just go up the charts. It's just a favor that's, it go number one. And we're going to make sure that it does. I love you. Subscribe to this channel, flat out.
Love you more. Love you more. Love you more.